Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tony's Picks Morning Show. I'm Tony T with you here every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Give out live free plays for today's card. And on today's show, our picks for from the NBA. It is a 10-game card from the association. College basketball for today as well. At NHL, as we're in day 2 of the return from the Olympic break. And of course, I would like you folks to join us here. Give us that like, that thumbs up. Greatly appreciate that. Really helps us build up our audience when you do that. And, don't really mess around here on the Tony's Morning Show. We get right to the picks. So let's meet the Cappers and do that. Hello to Chris. Chris, what's happening?
Oh, not much. Dropped our best bet yesterday. Thought it was a good spot for the Grizzlies there, with the Warriors missing a lot of pieces, and they still decided to come through and do that. I can probably count on my hand how many times I've taken the Grizzlies as the best bet, so that proves why we don't do that. But anyway, dropped that yesterday. Warriors still played, missing a lot of pieces, and did catch a couple goal scorers. And now that hockey is back, so glad for that. So that kind of helped out the day there. But just ready to get to it.
Absolutely. Let's go to El Nino. Al, what's going on?
Yeah, not too happy about these Raptors. Cost me a couple units here over the last couple of days. I was on them there against OKC. They dropped that one, then laid it with the Spurs yesterday, and of course they managed to get the win, but couldn't cover that spread. But also had the Nuggets there as my best bet, and that came through. So 1-1 yesterday, and looking for a better day today.
Yeah, it was a big second half there for the Nuggets. Look, the travel spot there got to the Celtics there. They were competitive in the first half, but just out of gas in that second half. Yeah, for me, it was a 3-1 day yesterday's best bet coming with the San Diego State Aztecs. Kind of a spot there for them to do it. They need to get right to get themselves in the discussion for an at-large bid. It's at Mountain West, very competitive. But there's always just seems that the committees always have been nice to these Mountain West teams with those at-large bids. So, again, a lot of teams in the Mountain West trying to vie there for at-large status, and San Diego State needed this one, and they got it there as well. If we had the over in that Memphis game, that's been kind of the MO for me with Memphis, is play them over. They've got some shooting ability, but absolutely no defense whatsoever from that Memphis Grizzlies team. All right, guys, we'll get right to the picks here. NBA, since we have a 10-game card, we'll do 2 blocks of 5. We'll start here with the Heat Sixers. The Sixers here laying 2, total 240.5. Hornets and Pacers. It's Indiana here. Dogs here. Charlotte 220. Charlotte 13. This total's come down to 228.5. Rockets and Magic. It's the Rockets 2.5 on the road on back-to-back. Total 215. Spurs and Nets. Spurs back-to-back. 12.5 on the road. Total 224.5. And the block with the Wizards and Hawks. Here we got the Hawks laying 10.5. Total 235.5. We'll take a look at the injury reports in these games. Hornets and Pacers. McNeely out for Charlotte. For Indiana, it will be Nesmith and Zubac out. Siakam doubtful. Nembhard and Toppin are both questionable. For the Heat Sixers, it will be Rozier, Jovic out, and Mitchell here will be questionable. For Sixers, no Broom, no George. Embiid here is probable for today. Wizards and Hawks. In this one, we've got Davis, Russell, Sarr, Young out for Atlanta. Vucevic and George here are questionable. For Atlanta, it's Alexander Walker, Johnson, Richache. Here are all questionable. And here with the Spurs, Nets, Plumlee questionable for San Antonio. Brooklyn coming in with a clean injury report. So we get started here with Chris.
Yeah, looking at these here, Washington, Atlanta, give me the over there. Nobody's playing defense there in that one. So we'll take over 235.5 is what I've got there. Too much in that Spurs on a back-to-back there. I know the Nets are tanking. Spurs could blow them out tonight, but they could come off that last night from Toronto with travel and everything and still be tired. So we'll leave that one alone there. Just really high on that one. One I am looking at, though, that is kind of a lean. It's pretty high. It's 12.5, though. I mean, we know what this Pacers team's doing, but as long as the Hornets get hot and get their threes and everything like that, and they could blow out the Pacers. So slight lean there to the Hornets on that one if Knipple gets there and ball and everybody starts shooting threes. Like I've told you guys, they live and die by that. If they're making them, then they're scoring. If not, it's a dicey there. And then I'll take I got 1.5 with Philadelphia at home. I'll take them over the Heat, and just not impressed with this Heat team. So I'll take the Sixers at home with 1.5.
There we go with Chris. Move on over to El Nino's.
Yeah, I like the Hornets, but again, rather than lay the double digits, I just lay the -115 I'm seeing right now for them to win both halves. Not really interested in trying to back the Pacers here, getting any kind of points either. So that's the only play I'd have on that one. I wanted to kind of take the Rockets here over the Magic. I know it's the back-to-back. Thompson, though, sat out yesterday. I think he should be good to go for this one. Should be a good one. Slight lean to the Rockets. Nothing too strong on that one. And yeah, not too much else here for me.
Hey, from El Nino's here. Tell you what I think about some of these games. I'm going to look at Charlotte. Even though the numbers come down, I'm going to look at Charlotte and Indiana over the total. Indiana team that doesn't play defense, but they can shoot the ball a little bit here. And we know with Charlotte a team, I think they'll get a lot of open looks today against this bad defense from Indiana, a team that has no interest in winning. And it just seems they're losing by not playing good defense. That's really, I believe that's what they're doing. But they are getting their shots there. Pacers have gone over in 5 of 6. It's the defense has been brutal here. Again, we said this Hornets team has struggled defensively over the past 2 weeks, giving up 49% shooting, 39% from three. So I'll look here for Charlotte, Indiana over 230.5. Carlisle knows how to tank. The way you tank is you don't play defense. That's how you stay out of trouble. Because if you put up the numbers, you put up some offense, you're gonna take the heat off you. But again, there's some team doctor situations there. I think with Nembhard and the Pacers, they got them in a little trouble there. But anyway, I'll go over there. This Heat Philly. I'll look at Philly here in this spot. They look like got their shooting together here in the last game here. Looking at this Heat team. Their three-point defense has been an issue here. Philly playing a little better defense of late over the past 2 weeks, allowing 45% shooting. I'll look at Philly in that one. Wizards, Hawks, I can only look over in this one. Wizards just not playing any defense whatsoever. The young guys have a little bit of talent. They put on a slam dunk exhibition, I think, a few games ago. So I'll look at the over in this one. Let's see. I don't want to touch Houston. Kind of a tricky spot. Houston at back-to-back Orlando, first game after that West Coast road trip. I just want to stay away. I don't like the spot for either one of these teams. And, yeah, with the Spurs, I'm not in the mood of laying big points here with them here, although I think that would be the lean for me. This Nets team is just not shooting the ball very well, and the defense has been terrible. But it is a back-to-back for San Antonio. But this Brooklyn team just in horrible form. All right, let's continue here on the Tony X Morning Show. Continuing on, we'll close out Hoops NBA with these final five. Trailblazers, Bulls. We got the Trailblazers here laying 4.5, 4. Total 235. Kings and Mavericks. Mavericks 7. Total 235.5. Pelicans and Jazz. It is the Pelicans, a 4.5 point road favorite here. Total 241.5. Lakers and Suns. Lakers 5. Total 220.5. And then we'll close it out tonight with Timberwolves and Clippers. T-Wolves 5, 5.5. Total 226. Take a look at the injury reports here from these games. In the game between Houston and Orlando, we've got Tate and Van Fleet out. Amin Thompson is questionable. Finney-Smith is probable. For Orlando, it's Wagner out. Suggs questionable. Portland, Chicago, we've got Avia and Sharp out. Hansen and Williams are questionable. On the Chicago side, Ivy, Simons out. Williams and Smith are doubtful. Kings and Dallas, it's a no Cardwell out. Keegan Murray is questionable, got hurt last night. For the Mavericks, it will be Flag, Washington out, Gafford doubtful, Middleton is questionable. Just note here that Levine and Sabonis out for the year for Sacramento, no longer showing up on the injury report. Lakers and the Suns, Hachimura is questionable here. Hayes is probable. For Phoenix, Anthony, Booker, Brooks, Goodwin, Highsmith out there. Pelicans, Jazz, Missy and Murphy out. On the Utah side, Keontae George and Markkanen are questionable. For the late night game tonight, Timberwolves and Clippers. Timberwolves, a clean injury report. For the Clippers, Garland out. Leonard and Collins here are questionable. And it's been a 2 days off for this Clipper team. We go over to Chris.
Yeah, first one we'll look at it here. Give me the points with Portland to cover there. Chicago 1-10 in their last 11. They're just can't back Chicago. So we'll take the Trailblazers to get the cover there. Leaving that Kings-Mavs game alone, just too much there going on. Lakers, Suns, a lot of pieces misses on the Suns, so I'd take the Lakers as a lean on the road with the 5.5 there. Just Suns missing too many pieces. 242.5 is what I've got in the Pelicans Jazz game. Give me that over. Jazz at home this year. 20-9 to the over. I mean, there's been cashing for us for that all year. So give me the over in that one. And then lean to taking the points with the Clippers there. I know Minnesota's got a clean injury report, but I'd rather have those points with the Clippers at home.
Yeah, with Chris on over down Nino's.
Yeah, I'll second that. That over in the Pelicans Jazz game. Utah is 34-24 the over. New Orleans 30-29 the over. Again, just don't see much defense being played in this one. Now, of course, a big question mark here for a couple. I guess George and Markkanen, big question marks there for that Jazz offense, but still think we get over this number here. And I'll look the other way in this Timberwolves Clippers game. I think we see a lower scoring one here. Clippers play at a real slow pace, 26 in points per game. Also 8-0 to the under after 3 straight overs, which is what they're coming in off of. When it comes up to this head-to-head, you got 9-1 to the under when these two teams meet. So I'll take another lowering scoring battle here. I'll take the under in that one.
Yeah, from Al Nino, saying what I think here about these games. Yeah, I'll look at Portland here in this one. The Bulls have failed to cover 12 of 14. The shooting's been terrible, and the three-point defense has been bad. I'll look at Portland in that spot. Yeah, Kings, I don't want to lay with Dallas. That's too many points, in my opinion. I do agree with the Lakers here. Lakers, what they do is they smash teams like this. They especially, against teams that are just shorthanded. That injury to Dylan Brooks is big. Broken hand, I believe it is. He'll be out for at least 4 to 5 weeks. Booker's been out as well. Key pieces for Phoenix hurt. I'll look at the Lakers to take advantage of these injured Suns. Boy, the Suns have just looked miserable of late. They just put up 81 against Boston last game out. And the shooting has been brutal here for the Suns here. Over the past 2 weeks, 36% from the field, 29% from three. I'll look at the Lakers in that spot. Give me the over in the Pelicans and Jazz. Just all speed, no breaks here. Just a lot of we look at New Orleans here. They have been shooting the ball pretty well, but the defense has just been brutal here for Utah. We know they can shoot the ball a little bit. I like the over there. Timberwolves Clippers. Yeah, I'll look at the Clippers here. I think their defensive prowess here is showing some improvement here since the Harden trade. They're kind of building a roster to be a little bit more on the defensive side, and I'll look at them here in that one. All right, let's continue. That's right. I don't know if you had Timberwolves in the last game against Portland, that was brutal. And Ant missing 2 free throws, and then of course Portland hit that 3 at the buzzer to cover that number. That's what you get with Minnesota, man. They just, once the game's wrapped up, they just had no interest in closing and playing after that. Brutal. All right, let's continue here on the Tony's Morning Show. Continuing on here over to college basketball. And then college hoops, we'll break it off again in 2 blocks. Let's see what we got here for today's card. Let me fix the time sorting here on my computer. So get it right here. Here we go. All right, in this spot here, we'll cover let's see what we have. Yeah, we do have a lot of late games, so we can do the regular block here. We'll cover block 1. We'll cover the games at 11 a.m. Eastern time. We got your degenerate game, Charleston and Hampton, beginning in about an hour right now there. And we'll go from 11 a.m. and we'll include the games here at 8:30 Eastern time. So so the games from 9 and later we'll do in the second block here. And let's see, this is a lot of small conferences. This is what you get on Thursday now that the Pac-12 is no longer. So I'm trying to find him. Matt, I thought there was a one. Maybe not. This is all. Here we are. Michigan State, Purdue is your big game here. Purdue here at home lane 8. There's some 7.5s out there, and I think that is everything else is just is pretty much going to be your small a lot of Conference USA, a lot of added board games here. So that's what you get here. Big South in there as well. So this is what you got here. So we go start here with Chris.
Yeah, looking at a couple 7 o'clock games here. We'll take looking at Campbell and Drexel. I've had to dig deep in these. These are a lot of conferences I don't really pay attention to much here. But looking at these, I mean, Drexel 7-4 is a home favorite there, and they're short number. I got them at -1.5 right now. I'll take Drexel at home on that with the Dragons against the Camels. Just makes sense logically. But yeah, we'll take Drexel there with -1.5, and then something I'll probably be in attendance for tonight. UNC Greensboro and Chattanooga. I may drive over there to see that. Chattanooga does well after a road win. If you look back all the way to 2024 season, 19-5 off a road win. They've had 2 road wins coming in back at home tonight. So I'll lay the 3.5 there with UTC and Chattanooga.
Here we go with Chris. We move on over to Nino's.
We're including 8 o'clock. Sorry, in this block.
We're including 8:30. Yeah.
Okay. So first up, I like Liberty over Kansas State there. Got just a better team, shooting the ball real well from deep. Won the last meeting by 8 at home. They traveled well, 9-1 on the road. So lay that small number there with Liberty. I like Denver over Oral Roberts. Oral Roberts having a pretty rough season there. Hope I don't wake him up. But I like Denver to get the job done there, laying a small number on the road. I got the job done pretty big at home there by 11 points. I think they win this one by 2 possessions plus on the road. I like Morehead State, little road dog there over Little Rock. Think we can might as well just take them on the money line here. You can take the points if you want, but I think Morehead State gets the job done in that one and wins it outright. Michigan State, Purdue, took a look at this total, and I got Michigan State coming in at 16-11 the under. Purdue is 14-13 to the under. You got two teams that play at a slow pace here. 6 of the last 10 meetings have stayed under. I'll take this one to stay under the total, and that wraps it up for me in this block.
There we go. From Al Nino's, tell you what I think about some of these games. I'll take Winthrop here. This Charleston Southern team pretty bad right now. They failed to cover 9 of 10. Really poor shooting here over the past month here. Winthrop in really good defensive form, allowing 43% shooting and just over 29% from 3. Winthrop is second in the Big South in offensive efficiency, a team that secures the basketball, hits their free throws, and defends very well here, allowing 29% from 3 in conference play. Charleston Southern, a team that turns the ball over. They don't make their free throws at 62%, and a team that doesn't force turnovers defensively. So I'll look at Winthrop here. I agree with Al Ninos. I like Liberty here. It looks like a short number coming off a loss here. Liberty is number 1 in offensive efficiency in the Conference USA, 40% from 3, 62% from 2-point range, and a team defensively that forces turnovers and defends the 2-point line pretty well. So very strong 2-point shooting and 2-point defense here from this Liberty team. Kennesaw is 9th in field goal shooting, a team that struggles inside, struggles at the line, and a team that doesn't defend the 3 very well in conference play. I'll look at Liberty in that spot. That's a lot of points with Michigan State. If you get the 8, I'll take them here in this spot. Michigan State is going to defend you pretty well. Purdue has failed to cover 9 of 13 with poor defense. Remember, that 2-point defense is not very good for Purdue. They are 15th in effective field goal defense in the conference, giving up 55% from 2-point range, 36% from 3. Give me the team with the better defense in Michigan State. All right, let's continue here on the Tony X Morning Show, closing out college hoops with these final games. In this block, we're going to cover the games here from 9 Eastern time and later, all the way to the last one here at 10 Eastern tonight. And in these games, notables, we have Wichita State and Memphis. Memphis laying 1 at home. Let's see if there's any other ones that are of note. A lot of small conference here. Everything small conference today, pretty much, other than that Memphis AAC conference, and that's probably a smaller conference as well. I guess that Irvine Northridge is interesting in the Big West. 2 good teams there. Northridge laying 1 at home. And Arlington Baptist should be interesting here. Baptist laying 6.5 at home. The school that's closest to my house is Cal Baptist. What else do we have here? That's about it here as far. Well, actually, Dakota State and the Tommies are pretty interesting there. These are 2 teams in pretty good form. The Tommies laying 4, 3.5 at home. Let's start with Chris.
Yeah, I missed the Michigan State Purdue, and I'll go back to that real quick and touch on that. I do agree. If I get 8 with Michigan State, I'm going to take them, and then I'm also going to take the under 142.5, like Tony advised. They do play a lot of defense there, so take the under in that one. Now on to this block here. The only one I'm looking at, Cal Poly and Long Beach. I'm going to take the over. Long Beach, they're averaging about 81 points, but they're also allowing 84 points per game typically. 9 and 7 are both of them to the over in conference, so I think we see a lot of back and forth in that one, so I'll take the over.
There we go with Chris. Next up, we move on over to Al Ninos.
Yeah, I'll lay it with Sam Houston State. They're laying the 2 possessions at home, 11-1 at home against the FIU team that's just 2-9 on the road, so I'll lay those points. Should win this one comfortably. Like another small road dog here in Wichita State over Memphis. Won this one by 15 at home here. Now Memphis does play much better at home where they're 10-4, but Wichita State, not a terrible 5-4 on the road. I think they're a live dog in this one. I'll take the money line there. And yeah, not too much in this late block for me. That wraps it up for me there.
Yeah, it's up there from El Ninos here. Tell you some of the games here like in this spot. I'll look at Utah Tech here, laying this short number here against Abilene Christian. Abilene is last in offensive efficiency in the WAC. They turn the ball over. They don't make threes. 68% at the line. They're also last in effective field goal defense in the conference. Giving up 41% from three, 54% from two. Utah Tech, a very good shooting team in the conference. 38 from three, 51 from two. And defensively, they defend that three-point line very well. They've covered 7 of 8 with really good three-point shooting. And you look at Abilene over the last month, giving up 51% shooting, 43% from three. That's horrible form. I'll look at Utah Tech there. Yeah, I'll take Northridge. It's boy, I've seen so many bad Northridge teams, but this one looks pretty good. It's hard for me to suggest Northridge, but man, they've covered 5 of 7. I think I saw that game against Hawaii that's kind of swung me over to their side. They've been playing pretty well. Irvine has turned the ball over in conference play. They don't make their twos. They don't make their free throws. They struggled on the glass here in the conference, but Northridge second in offensive efficiency in the Big West. 53% from two. They force turnovers on defense. They defend the 2-point line pretty well, and they've covered 5 of 7 with good shooting. I'll look here at Northridge, and in the Poly game, I look at the Poly here laying this number. This is a bad Long Beach State team. They turn it over. They don't make their threes. Struggles from twos as well. Poly is second in the conference in effective field goal shooting, 34% from three, but 57% with their 2-point shooting and 80% at the line. I'll look at Cal Poly in this spot. All right, let's continue here on the Tony's Morning Show. Turn our attention to hockey in this block here. Of course, we do have the Daily Dangle back. Rod will give you a complete rundown on all these games here at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So in our hockey segment, we'll just ask the cappers, just give us what you got in hockey, and we get it started here with Chris.
I got you a couple goal scorers. Didn't make the hit list there. We'll go Macklin Celebrini and Kirill Kaprizov both to get us a goal today.
Yeah, from Chris on over to Al Ninos.
Yeah, definitely tune in to the Daily Dangle. Not too much from me today. Just a couple spots I'm going to look at. First up, I like the Panthers there at home, laying a little bit of juice, but again, you can take them on the three-way or the to win in regulation. Or again, I always prefer the -1 there, but not everyone's cup of tea, I guess. But definitely on the Panthers there at home with the rest and home ice advantage. Then again, yeah, the Hurricanes should be a great game against the Lightning that have been on fire, but Hurricanes playing some pretty good hockey too. Another team that has the rest and home ice advantage. So small lean to the Hurricanes, -1 there. Hate talking anyone off of plus money with a hot team, but that's where I'm leaning in that one. Let's see, next up. Yeah, it's honestly not a card I'm in love with today. Also like the Penguins there to get the job done at home over the Devils. No Crosby, but still leaning towards them to get to win this one. Again, not laying that juice, but I'll take a -1. You could take him in regulation if you prefer that.
Yeah, Crosby out for 4 weeks there with that body injury there from El Ninos. All right, we got you through our hockey segment. And now it's time for our Parlay Purple segment where our cappers give out a parlay, team player prop, game of the future. They make the call here. We start with Chris.
We have a couple team over here. We'll go Washington, Atlanta over, New Orleans, Utah over. And your first basket score or team first basket score today is going to be Devin Vassell with the Spurs. He's at +750, so sprinkle some on that.
From Chris on over to El Ninos.
I'll go Hornets to win both halves. I'll take the under in the Timberwolves Clippers game, and let's take the Penguins there.
There from El Ninos. And my parlay today, I'm going to go ahead and take Northridge, and as well as with the Lakers and the LA Clippers plus the points. All right, we got you through our parlay purple segment. Now it's time to see what our cappers have for sale over at Tony's Picks. Head into a big week of action here with a lot of hoops, hockey, and there. Link in the description will take you right on over to our site over at Tony'sPicks.com, where you're going to find our best bets and more here up on the board. We'll see what Chris has for sale today over at Tony's Picks. Chris, what you got?
Got you guys the best bet in the NBA today. One play there, so go snatch that up before game time. there. And then, hop on something. We're headed to the weekend. You guys like that 3-day pass, 7-day pass, whatever you want to do. We've still got college basketball to cover with the SEC and still NBA action. And then we're less than a month away from baseball to be back, and I'll be covering that as well. So hop on something long-term, short-term. You'll get that late steam action there. As well as 2-for-1 capper. You guys see who's doing well, pair them up together, let them go to work for you. And then don't forget to use the promo code TonyT at checkout, save you the 15%, and we're going to keep trying to do well.
There you go, guys. Get on board with Chris over at Tony'sPicks.com. Best bet on the board right now. Remember, all of our one-day passes are profit guaranteed. They must turn a profit amount purchased will be credited back to your account for site credits. That is profit guarantee. Get on board with Chris over at Tony's Picks. Also look for those long-term subscriptions also available there. Great value. So get on board with Chris right now. All right, let's take a look, see what El Ninos has got for sale over at Tony's Picks. El Ninos, you've seen him on top of the leaderboards here for 2026. He's been cranking it out there, as we'll see here for El Ninos here for 2026. He's put 911 here, 11-unit profits for 2026. That is all based on $100 unit wager size. So, El, what you got for sale?
Yeah, just so far I got my alley-oop there, my best bet in the NBA. Got an extra pick there for everyone on the long-term passes, and I actually have a write-up on the third game in the NBA. Just got to go hit enter, and should have a 3-pack sooner rather than later.
That's right, guys. So get on board with El Ninos over at Tony's Picks, NBA alley-oop up there. Long-term subscriptions the way to roll here. If you get off with Al, the way he's been cranking here, we've got the 7-day, 1-month all sports pass there. So remember that 1-month pass gets you all the way through much of the conference tournaments and into the NCAAB tournament when you get that 1-month all sports pass and the start of baseball as well, as it starts on the 25th. So get on board here of March. Get on board with El Ninos. Promo code TonyT at checkout will save you that 15%. Remember, all of our plays are in the system by 11 a.m. Eastern time for our members, but we continue to look for plays late in the betting cycle. So anytime we put in a play between 10 minutes and 2 hours for game time, that's late steam. And those are emailed directly to your inbox. Use an email used that you use to sign up for the service. So late steam, a feature available here at Tony'sPicks.com. So go ahead and get signed up. All right, I've got a best bet on the board right now for you from College Hoops, as well as a 3-pack from college basketball and NBA combined as well. So 4 premiums for me today on the site. So get on board with me over at Tony's Picks and match me up with your favorite capper with a 2-for-1 capper promotion and go long term. Promo code TonyT saves you that 15%. So check us out here at Tony'sPicks.com. This is our website. The link is in the description. That's where you're going to find our best bets and our premium plays. All right, guys, with you here every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Tony's Picks Morning Show. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe, set those notifications. We have 5 live shows on our channel, and all of our live shows, you guys can chat with us here in the chat. We welcome your chat comments as well as your chat picks. So you just head on over to Tony's Picks YouTube. Best way to navigate us is from the homepage right here. Make sure this tab's on the home. Easiest way to go because we have a lot of content on our channel. Anything live will show up right away in front of your face here on the first spot. Our archive live shows. I told you we had 5 live shows here. Night Moves with Ramon and Company, 3 a.m. Eastern time. A complete rundown on all the card, complete full coverage from NBA, college hoops, as well as every game on the board from NHL. So check out Ramon here and Company on Night Moves. Alessandro, first look at these games as they open up on the Look Ahead show, midnight Eastern, 9 Pacific time. Look Ahead archive for you to watch right here. A complete rundown. Happy Hour with Rod and Company, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Check that out. This is your last look at these games before they go off on the Happy Hour. And then, of course, that takes us to Daily Dangle with Rod. Rod hosts a Daily Dangle here every day at 1 Eastern time. A rundown on the NHL, picks from the NHL from Rod on the Daily Dangle. We get goalie news, we get the injury news, and they're from Rod. And, of course, the picks, props as well in there on the Daily Dangle with Rod, 1 p.m. Eastern time every day. Of course, back to our morning show, always archives here on the channel. 5 live shows, guys. Check us out. And as you scroll down, you get my compilation videos right here. We got Chris with his props ready to roll here with the NBA and NHL props hit list for today. Those are up on the site, so check those out. Of course, we have our playlist with on the channel here with NBA. Looks like Brian Biller checking in with a play today from the NBA. Of course, we got Alessandro in there, as well as myself, as well as Chris with his props. And we got Ramon in there as well with NBA as well. So we're loaded today here with these NBA picks for you today. College as well. Getting you guys here some shorts as well, and more. You got you covered today from both NBA and college hoops. NHL full game coverage today from Ramon. Every game on the board, as you can see. Also, Alessandro with his NHL picks as well as you scroll through the playlist. Fight picks will be here on Friday, videos, and our shorts and more. Check us out here on the Tony Picks YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Of course, Chris, your hit list been a big hit with everybody here on the channel.
Yeah, it's been pretty popular. I appreciate that from everybody. All the support there. I've got you 2 today. I've got you an NBA first basket, first team score there. Now go check that out. And then I've got you some goal scores from NHL. Now that that's back, we did cash 2 yesterday, so we're back on track there with those. So you'll have a couple of videos out today, and as long as I've got data, you'll have videos on both of those. And then once baseball is back next month, you will have the home run hit list back, which started it all. So we're looking to have a good season with that. I wouldn't trust any home runs right now in spring training. This is just an exhibition game, guys. So be careful if you do find a book that offers it. There are some out there. So be careful betting home runs right now, but we will crank it up in March and be ready for that season. Already researching, already doing all I can to get us paid this year. And appreciate everybody's comments and support. You guys are respectful, and I appreciate that. Let's just try to be respectful to each other, support each other, like and subscribe, and check out everybody's content. Everybody's doing well. All the live shows, everybody does great work. So check everybody out, and let's just continue trying to do well.
That's right, guys. Check out Chris here on the hit list, right on our props playlist here, navigating from the homepage. Of course, El Nino's have you pretty much here on the live shows, and we see you on the reels as well.
Yeah, a lot of morning shows for me lately, so keep tuning in. Again, catch the replays if you can't make it this early, but also go check out all the other great content we got over at Tony's Picks YouTube channel.
That's right, guys. 5 live shows here on the channel. Check us out, like and subscribe. Really appreciate that here on the channel. With you here every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It is the Tony Six Morning Show. Appreciate everybody in the chat for today. Chris, let's have fun with Alessandro. Lex Steele. Good to see Lex here in the chat. Ron Hahn in there. Cal Dog out there in the Chicago area. You got to get it out there to spring training. Check out those Cubs. The weather's been great in Arizona. Whiskers, Mr. Whiskers. You see him a picture in that Ramon in that show here with Night Moves, the Night Owl there. Check us out here as well. Yes, we got to get there. We got to find some scissors for Alessandro. No doubt about that. He's got that. Getting back to that 60s look again. I just think of the Monkeys, that Monkeys band there as well. All right. Yeah. Yes, it was our friend Zach Gallen. 22 million for Zach. I don't know. We've talked about this with Chris. He didn't want 22 million spent on him in Atlanta.
Yeah, no, we weren't going to give him that money. No. I mean, we could probably use it. Braves have already started with 2 on the IL, so that's the Braves season for you. That's the way we start stuff.
Oh, so. Yeah. Of course, Bowden Francis, I think, is on the IL. Bieber also injured list for Toronto. They signed Scherzer to a $3 million contract, but lots of incentives for Scherzer. I don't know at this age if he can even get those innings or whatever those incentives are. But no. That's right, the White Sox. I'm sorry. That's right. That's right. That's right. She's a White Sox fan, not the Cubs. Uh-oh. That's true. That's true. She is a White Sox.
Yeah, White Sox first 5. White Sox first 5 this year could be something to watch. Those guys do really well. Good group of young core. Got one of my favorite players, Colson Montgomery, on there. I got a new guy from overseas. Not sure how to say his name. Not even going to try, but yeah, the White Sox could be something for the first 5. We could be cashing with that. Once the bullpen comes in, we know how that works out. So, yeah, definitely somebody to watch. Big prospect coming out of with Pittsburgh, number 1 prospect in the country, Connor Griffin. Watch that guy. He's gonna be something else. He's already hit 2 home runs back to back in the same game in spring training. I know that doesn't say much, but he's number 1 prospect for a reason.
That's right. So the White Sox team that you can get money in the first 5, and if they just find that back 4, they'll be in good shape, right? You just got to find those guys that can close it out for you there with the White Sox. That's right. Cal Doggo White. I should have known because they share the complex with the Dodgers there in Glendale, Arizona. Very short drive. I want to get out there again and check out the spring training. The weather's been beautiful this year for spring training. I don't think there's been any rain so far. All right, but we still got the entire month of March coming. They started this spring training early because of the World Baseball Classic there. Absolutely. There's good things coming for these White Sox. No doubt about that. They've got some prospects on the way. All right, that's going to do it for the show. We're back again tomorrow. Like, subscribe. Any closing thoughts from you guys before we close it out?
Just make it a winning day, guys.
Let's make it. Let's make it a winning one. Goodbye to guys. You guys are making a winning one. We're back tomorrow here on the Tony Six Morning Show.